Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be talking about all of your questions about the next update, when we can expect new content in 2018, what's going to be happening after online, and a whole lot more. Now, as always, if you want to get involved in future Q&A videos like this, all you got to do is go in the description, follow me on Twitter, and use that hashtag AskBoss whenever I'm looking for Q&A questions, and you might find yourself featured in the next one. But without the way, guys, like I said, let's not waste any more time, and let's jump straight into it. Our first question today comes from Dakota, who says, do you think Rockstar is going to give us a heads up about the next update, or just release it Tuesday with no warning? So Dakota, at the end of the day, it is all up to Rockstar. They can do this however they want. So yes, I do believe there is a chance that this Tuesday, in about 48 hours, Rockstar could just drop an update without telling us. They have done this in the past with several updates. I think the most recent one was the DLC that added like the Drop Zone adversary mode and the Sultan RS and the Banshee 900R. Now that didn't come out on a Tuesday, it came out on a Thursday, but the point remains Rockstar sort of dropped that DLC with really no warning. They didn't tell us about it at all. And so far, Rockstar hasn't said a single word about what this update is going to be. So it really has been a surprise. There is always a chance that they could announce something tomorrow on Monday, but there's always a chance that on Tuesday they could just drop the DLC and say, hey, here you go, enjoy it. So it's definitely going to be an interesting 48 hours to see what they do. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes and ears pinned to the newswire, and of course for any news that ends up dropping. And if anything significant does happen, I'll be sure to keep you guys in the loop and updated as well. But that's a pretty good question. A surprise update would be pretty strange. Up next, we have a question from Brock that is, do you think Benny's has been abandoned, and do they will think they will add more vehicles for Benny's in future updates? Brock, I actually do think that Benny's has been abandoned because really recently we've seen Rockstar add vehicles into the game with Benny's features that they're just doing in the Los Santos custom shop. So what's sort of been the staples of Benny's for the longest time? It's been liveries and unique customization. We've seen vehicles with unique customization and plenty of liveries start to get updated in the Los Santos custom shop. And it is kind of a shame because I did like that more interesting dynamic of bringing a car to Benny's. And I really did like the aspect of having a custom and a regular version. Like some of my favorite cars in the game are the Nero and the Itali GTB. I love the differences in the regular version and the custom version. I just think that's so cool. So I'm not sure why Rockstar has abandoned that. Maybe they're waiting for the right DLC. Of course, there is hope. Maybe if Rockstar does like a tuners style update, we'll see a ton of Benny's cars. But yeah, I do think they've actually abandoned that shop. And I'm not sure why, because it was always really enjoyable for me to take a car to Benny's. But oh well, I guess that's Rockstar's master plan. The next question comes from Aaron Wilson. He says, do you think the research from gun running will ever be revisited in a future updates? I certainly hope not. I think research was one of the worst parts of the gun running update. It really just served as a massive paywall for Rockstar to sort of hide some of the most highly requested items in the game, whether it was explosive rounds or upgrades for vehicles. Really, I think that was so stupid. Why not just have them unlocked from day one? Why put them behind this weird time crunch paywall? I really don't understand it. I mean, you sort of saw Rockstar add on to that in the Doomsday Heist, where they didn't really add new research, but they added items that used research. So I didn't really love that. And it kind of makes me worried that they'll do that going forward in the future if there is a big military update. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully Rockstar learned their lesson, but you never know. They're all about doing stuff like that, trying to just little gimmick things out of you. So I would say yes, but hopefully no. Dodo Gaming says, what do you think the GTA 5 Premium Edition will have in it? So this is definitely very interesting. I've made a couple videos now on the GTA 5 Premium Edition, its rumors and what I think it's going to be. I personally believe it's going to be a graphically enhanced version of the game. So I think it will be available for Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro. I also think it's going to have better resolution, 4K graphics, stuff like that. And I definitely believe it's going to have new content as well. Now, what that new content is going to be, I'm not sure. Whether that's some map expansion, that'd be insane. Whether it's just upgrading single player by adding some of the online content to it, or whether it's packaging it with an online shark card or something like the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack. it's definitely going to be something like that, because the rumored price for this is like $89, which is way more expensive than a normal game. And Rockstar isn't going to make a 4K version of their game more than $60. So it's definitely going to have like some extra content with it. Now, what that extra content is, I'm not sure. It will be interesting to see what Rockstar decide to do. And that is supposedly set to release later this month. So I'm excited about that. If it is true, we should be hearing about it pretty soon. Tyler G says, will we ever get an update in online with normal prices? So I wanted to feature this question to kind of hear from you guys too, because I thought the Doomsday Heist had some pretty okay prices. So aside from the facility and aside from the weaponized vehicles, a lot of the drip feeding ones and even the regular ones that were added on day one were for the most part pretty well priced, like low $1 million, $100,000 range. They even gave a vehicle away for free if you played on Christmas, the Albany Hermes. So I think that Rockstar did a better job in the Doomsday Heist by adding vehicle prices that weren't exorbitant. Yes, they still had the crazy expensive ones like the weaponized vehicles, and the facility was really overpriced. But I feel like the vehicles were way better, like the normal ones. They weren't like crazy expensive. So I don't ever think we'll return to prices of what we saw in like 2014, 15, maybe even early 16. But I think Rockstar definitely did a better job in the Doomsday Heist, and I hope they continue that trend going forward. Lewis says, do you think there will be many drip feed vehicles in the next online DLC? So it's honestly going to depend on the size of the update, although I was really surprised with the amount that Rockstar did in the Doomsday Heist. So maybe this is going to be a trend going forward where there's just a lot of drip feed vehicles, but there was so many. I think there was like 13 total in the Doomsday Heist. I would say probably not that many in the March update. I would say at a maximum maybe 10, but I still think that's a lot. I'd still think like 7 or 8 is probably more likely, because the size of the March DLCs, if we get one in March, is typically a lot smaller than what we see in December. But Rockstar, drip feeding vehicles is like their new thing, so I would definitely expect there to still be a ton. Ditto Alvarez says, when will Rockstar release GTA 4 on PS4? So I think the only reason GTA 4 is on Xbox One right now is because Xbox One has like a backwards compatibility program. But then again, Rockstar has put other GTA titles on PS4, so I'm not sure why. Maybe there's like some exclusivity thing going on there. I know when Grand Theft Auto 4 was released, they had exclusive deals with Microsoft. So maybe that's like still a thing. Maybe it's like a perpetuity thing. I'm not sure. I really hope that GTA 4 Remastered is one day a thing. I would love to be able to play Liberty City and with HD textures and stuff like that. That'd be so cool. So hopefully Rockstar have a plan for that soon. Clayton says, do you think there's too much content in Grand Theft Auto Online? I do. I think there's way too many pointless adversary modes that no one ends up playing after the first day of their release, or after the 2 times money and RP opportunities for them go away. I also think there's too many things going on in the world that makes it feel really cluttered. Like there's too many notifications you get on your screen. There's too many little icons in the world. So yeah, either Rockstar has to expand, or I feel like they've got to get rid of some of the not so great content that they end up adding into the game. That's my personal opinion. I've even done a full video on this subject, like, do you think online has too much content? And I think the answer is definitely yes. Corey has an interesting question. He says, do you think Rockstar is hiding something about the new update? I definitely think there's something interesting going on with the new update, because I'm surprised Rockstar hasn't revealed any information about it. It really is shocking that they haven't. And I think it's either because they want to do a surprise update. I have heard one thing. There's like a massive snowstorm going on right now in New York City where Rockstar is based. So a lot of people think that Rockstar like can't get to their offices, but they have offices all around the world. So I'm really not buying that conspiracy theory. But yeah, I do think something interesting is going on about this update. Now, whether they're hiding something or not, I'm not sure. But they've definitely been pretty suspicious with the lack of information we've seen so far. And what that means, I'm not sure. But yeah, I do think Rockstar might be hiding just a little something with this update. Nolan says, do you think Rockstar will put the new fastest supercar in the game in the next DLC? I can almost guarantee you there will be a supercar in the next update. Will it be the fastest? I'm not sure, but it will likely be competitive. Because if it's not competitive, no one's going to buy it. Like, I'm pretty sure the last, like, 6 supercars they've added have all been competitive. Like, Autarch, Vision, XA21, they've all been pretty good. So I think it's a safe bet to say the supercar, if they do add one in the next update, will be pretty nice. And our final question today, once again, comes from Aaron Wilson. He says, if we were to get mansions on an update, what type of features do you think they will be in them, old and new? So, yeah, I definitely think there would be old and new features. Some of the old ones, you know, you'd be able to do the basic stuff on the inside, change clothes, watch TV, interact with friends. I'm sure there'd be a telescope. But I think in order for mansions to succeed, there needs to be a ton of new features. Now, what those new features are, I'm not really sure what Rockstar could implement. Maybe something bigger than a 10-car garage. Maybe the ability to have pets on the inside. Maybe the ability to throw parties where you and your friends could come over and hang out on the inside. The ability to go from inside to outside seamlessly. Having things like a pool or a hot tub or a helipad where you can have Pegasus storage or something like that. The features have to be there. Otherwise, they're just going to be glorified apartments, and I don't think people are going to buy them. But anyways, that's all the questions that I'm going to be answering in this week's Q&A video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. As always, if you want to get involved in the next one, all you got to do is go down in the description, follow me on Twitter, and just use that hashtag AskBoss whenever I'm looking for Q&A questions, and you might find yourself featured in the next one. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next video.